right? We should be the kind of nation that does that. And as a Christian, I feel like it's definitely my obligation to do that. But part of the reason we have these social programs is so that no small community is bearing the load. So like if Florida is responsible for all of its retirees, if Florida is responsible now for caring for all of the people, hey boo, for caring for all the people that don't get Meals on Wheels, they're going to be less ready if something bad happens. You're going to be spending your time making sure that the neighbor next door isn't rotting than preparing for a hurricane. You're going to be spending your personal resources on that and not on a hurricane. This is a readiness issue, y'all. It's the same reason why we need to get off of our dependence on oil. It's a readiness issue. Having more green energy is a readiness issue. These are literally readiness issues. Why is nobody talking about it? If we are distracted and busy with taking care of people who are out in the streets incapable of caring for themselves, we are not preparing ourselves for possible emergencies. I want to encourage you to call your elected officials and tell them not to do these steep Medicare cuts, y'all. Medicare and Medicaid are essential, and they're not just essential because it's the right thing to do. It's the moral thing to do, okay? They are the moral thing to do. But they're also a readiness issue, and if you're a prepper, you want people to have the best health. You want people to have the best health. You want people to be housed. You want people to be taken care of, right? Because if you have groups of newly homeless individuals, particularly people who are already vulnerable, particularly people with like developmental disabilities who are now going to be unhoused because they're not getting their Medicare checks and they're not having access to Medicaid, these are the kinds of things that are going to happen. The elderly who can't afford wheelchairs, who are going to need community support, that limits our ability to be ready. So call them and tell them not to have cuts. And it's moral to not cut these things, but it's also a preparedness, readiness issue. We should do it. We should be prepared and not cut Medicaid.